Hello, I'm 𝗰𝗶𝗀𝗀, and this is how I made a long press button or a hold down button because I needed one and I didn't know how to make one. I looked it up and I found a way, and now I'm sharing it with you all. So you can also choose the length for how long it needs to be pressed or held down. You can make it longer, shorter, and you can also completely remove the bore in case that's what you want for your button. So yeah, you can see me playing around with the numbers. And yeah, let's get on with it. So you saw me copy and pasting the background. I'm making a new scene called example. I keep forgetting I have to add the extension, so that's what I did. So what is like the big bulk of nodes that you really need is just a button if you don't want a progress bar. But if you do want a progress bar, you have to make sure the progress bar is a child to the button. So that's what I'm doing. I'm setting up the button to make it visible to you all. But again, it doesn't even have to be like a button with text in it, as long as what? As long as it works for you, that's the most important. So here you can see me going back and forth to check, and I removed the percentage because I didn't need it, and I was only going to use color to fill in the value as it increases. So I chose blue because I thought it was nice and it popped out against the pink background. You can see me testing too to make sure it's contrasted enough. So now I make a new script for the button to show you how I went about doing it my way-ish. So the variables we're gonna need will be a signal for once you release the button, mouse inside, check if the mouse is inside the button, duration pressed, the variable which will increase with how long the button is pressing for, release to check if the mouse is released or not, progress bar, if we have one, it's true, else false. Duration threshold is the amount of time the button needs, so for me it's 1 second, 1.1 second. And then sound variables, audio and SFX to use when the mouse interacts with the button, which I took from Dialogic 2, which I've linked in the repository, and I will also link in the description. But I don't really explain the sound variables here because I'm planning on making another one for Dialogic only with the long press of the button. So here you can see all of the function and all of the code for the ready function. The first 4 lines are connected to a function that I just told you about that I took from Dialogic. And the following 4 lines are also kind of testing me when I was testing around for this project. And the last line was to check if you have a progress bar or not. So that's easily explained. So button long press is just like the left click mouse button, because I just needed to try it out and I forgot to change it, but it still works, so I'm not gonna change it again. The first line is to make sure we insert the button and haven't released the button yet. The duration pressed increases and holds that number as long as the mouse doesn't release. If we have a progress bar, we assign it the value of duration pressed. Once the duration pressed variable is bigger or equal to duration threshold, we emit the signal long released. But if we aren't pressing anymore and release the button, we set duration pressed back to 0. And because I just didn't like the way the progress bar jumped back to 0, made a tween animation to set it back to 0 smoothly. I also forgot to kill the tween, which I fixed in the repository. So feel free to check that out after the video or during. Anyways. And lastly, if there's nothing to do, we just pass. And I'm pretty sure this is very much useless, but I did some testing and I was right. It is very much useless. I ended up doing some bug fixing because I forgot to implicitly state the variable into a float. So yeah. Mouse status is a simple function to see if the mouse was inside the button or not, and this was really like me testing stuff out. I was thinking I needed the control signal that pretty much every control button has, every control node has, but I didn't, so that was really cool. So looking up a bunch of other examples online helped a lot. Long released is the last function. Sets release to true and makes sure the progress bar is hitting the duration threshold, so that it's always like at the maximum, and it always touches the end of the button. And here you can put in whatever code you need to be executed once the long press is released. So I have a print function and I change the text so I can see it visibly change and make sure it's been properly released. Also do make sure to connect your long release to the button, because I forgot to do that and it left me extremely confused for a good chunk of time. So that's great, but I think you can also connect it immediately in the ready function. So one other way to go about that. So yeah, here we have it in action. It worked with the progress bar, like I said, and without it. And I'm pretty happy with it. I honestly thought it was gonna be so much harder to do. So I'm happy with the results. One thing I love about Godot is it taught me about script inheritance, because I mostly came from coding in 𝗰𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗀. Then I did Python. No, it was Python, such a little small amount of Python, then 𝗰𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗀, then Python again, then Godot. And there was like a bunch of other code stuff in the middle, but we don't care about that right now. And inheritance is like my favorite thing ever. So I will be inheriting this script everywhere without needing to like copy and paste it, which is fantastic. I've been also looking into making my games a bit more accessible, and mostly to avoid accidental presses, because I would know my hands are very clumsy. So I mixed and matched what I found online with what I know, and I made something that I'm quite proud about, like I just said. And yeah, I've linked all the posts in the description. All the posts. There might be one, I'm not sure where it is, but I'm gonna look it up. These two that I've linked are the ones that I found first. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you also now know how to make a long press button. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer. But if anybody else smarter than me knows how to answer, feel free to do so as well. And yeah, wishing you a good rest of your day, and seeing you soon for another tutorial. maybe it will be more tips and tricks. Yeah, more tips and tricks than anything. I don't really have an idea for what I should make a tutorial about next. So if you do have an idea for another tutorial I could make, do let me know. I want to make more dialogic styling and teaming stuff. So if that's something that's interesting to you, let me know. So yeah, thank you for watching, and bye bye.